And boom, boys, we are live. It is episode 7. Can you believe that we've already made it to episode 7, lucky number 7, of Football and Freight? Mainly football, just told by guys that do freight. Hey, man, welcome to the show, boys. We fired up?
Yeah, ready for another good week. Hopefully keeping that trend going where I can at least stay a game up on y'all. It feels good. Makes me wake up in the morning.
The race is tight. 2-point game. 42-40. It's anybody's ball game right now.
I guarantee you if you'd asked everybody, hey, do you think we'll all be within 1 point of each other by week 7, we'd probably said no. Somebody's going to take the reins, but obviously that's not the case. Ryan, Jared, you guys had 8 and 3 weeks last week. Pretty strong. We all missed the Vikings and the Bills and the Ravens because it was -3.
Yeah,
it ended up being a push, so we only counted 11 games this past week. But I had a rough go at it this week. Going 6 and 5 for the most part. It was a struggle, but still up there, still doing well, still doing okay. I'm pretty upset with the Vikings kicker. Bad beat on that one. But other than that, pretty good weekend. Heads or tails? We'll go ahead and jump straight to it. We're going to do heads, Patty Mahomes. Tails, information on Patty Mahomes. What are we doing? What's the 2 subjects? What you guys got for me?
Yeah. Jared?
So we got concussion if it's heads, and 2 is concussion that we're going to talk a little bit about that's like all over the news. No one can get over it. They're saying it's a neck and back issue. Everybody knows it's concussion. Joe Burrow's starting to talk about concussions a little bit, so that's the main topic in the news right now. So we'll go with that, and then the rematch of Jimbo and Saban for tails.
Okay, so let me ask this. We're not talking about Antonio Brown flashing people at the pool?
Yeah.
I'm always – I'm down to talk about that. That was wild, dude.
I'm sure that would be a very long segment if we had to go to our imagination and put together. So we probably won't have enough time to cover the amount of content there that we would have to talk about. What a scene. If you guys haven't seen that, I would just type in Antonio Brown Twitter pool.
Never a dull moment with Antonio Brown. Never a dull moment.
And you're welcome. And I'll just say, if you're wondering why the man might not have many brain cells left, it's because they've all traveled south of the border. That's probably why there's no more brain cells left. But that's just me. What am I? Anyways, Patty Mahomes, let's go with it. I'm just going to do like a little catch, and then whatever is being shown, we'll go with.
There we go.
All right?
Let's go.
Boom.
Oh, no.
Let's try it again. Coin toss was not good. Patty Mahomes.
Heads.
We'll roll with it. That's why you buy a one-touch case, boys. What do you guys think about the concussion?
So for me, that first one a couple weeks ago was a little weird, to see somebody, hit the ground, get up, seem to shake off, walk a few steps, start to jog and fall, and then, go out for a play or two and come back in. That already was kind of like, did they go through the protocol? But, being professionals and doing what they do every day, I think that they went through the protocol necessary to get him either back out there or, out for the game. And then, last week came up, and it's brutal to see his hands cringe up and just, so I think they're definitely going to get a little bit of investigation started to see if they did follow proper protocol, at which point, hopefully they find that they did, and they'll just maybe fine them or something. But maybe they figure out that they didn't follow it, and at that point, we're just getting into a lot of internal issues with the Dolphins at this point.
Well, I do know that they were going to investigate the Dolphins, as they should, but I know that the guy who apparently checked him out for a concussion was an independent doctor. Checked him out, did fire him after that, which rightfully so if you clear him to go back in after that. So he had the concussion where he hit the back of his head. 4 days later, hits the exact same spot. Scary. I don't know how they can get away from it. It's starting to become a big topic. Like I said, Joe Burrow's talking about how he's blacked out during games and just kept playing. I think it's going to become already with the CTE that's going around. Everybody's talking about that. I think it's going to become only a bigger and bigger topic, especially when a star, someone of like Joe Burrow's caliber, has something like that happen to them. But, man, that was scary. That was wild. You don't see – I mean, I've watched days upon days of football, and for someone to go down and have happen what he had happened to him, I mean, dude, you don't see that ever. So – I think they're keeping him out this week. They already called him out prematurely, I think, just to ease some of the buzz around the concussion thing. I think he probably could play, but I think they're just keeping him out just to kind of quiet that down a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to take, I guess, the time that I would have to talk about Chattanooga this week to kind of give my thoughts on this. So, first of all, I hope Tua is okay. You never want to see a player go down like that. It looks super scary. But it also looks super suspicious. So, as a guy that played, I saw a bunch of concussions. I saw a bunch of injuries. And I haven't seen many like Tua had. So that immediately makes me think there's probably an underlying condition there or a precursor to something, kind of like, hey, if you got COVID, you're going to get sick and you're going to die and you're going to have to be in the hospital if you have underlying conditions, right? So, yeah, I think this could be a concussion, but I think it was something started this. For me, when I played with my neck injuries, like I broke my neck, but it was many stingers prior to my neck breaking to where I realized it was all those repetitive hits happening and just the compound effect of that adding up. So I think with Tua, he's very injury prone. But I haven't seen him take too many big hits. Even the one where he went down on and got back up and kind of like stumbled and fell, that looked pro wrestling to me. And I'm not trying to like discredit him being injured, but I've seen guys getting knocked out in the UFC, and you don't just stand up and stutter step like that and then fall back down. And I promise you, those guys are getting legit hit and having concussions and trauma that your legs kind of buckle and you kind of just accidentally fall. It just looked very pro wrestling to me. And then it wasn't a hard hit. And then you see the same thing happen the next week, and now he's like this. And I've only seen this happen a few times to people, and that does mean that like you're locked up, like your brain's not functioning the correct way, and your body's like in like a preventative state. And it looks funny to people who don't understand the game. That's serious. So obviously something's going on. And the guy that did the Concussion movie that Will Smith played, his character, said that he would already tell Tua to retire due to CTE issues. And I think CTE is a big deal. But, I mean, I think that it's definitely something that we don't know happened, that's happened many times prior to this result happening. He didn't just get hit 2 weeks ago and then hit this past week like he did, and the dude got CTE and a concussion syndrome, and he's got a problem. That's not what happened. Something's been going on with that guy for him to act that way and to have that reaction. But I hope that he's okay and gets to keep playing, because that boy's having a good year. He was about to have like a really good year, and it sucks that happened. And I hope the Dolphins do well, because they were having a really good season. So, but that's kind of my behind the scenes training room look at it. Like, what is really happening? What do we not know? And I think that's the answer. I don't think it's as simple as it's a concussion and other people that get concussions need to come out of the game immediately and not play for a couple weeks. There's levels to concussions. Like Joe Burrow says, he blacks out during games. If you get hit really hard when your adrenaline's pumping and you're in front of 100,000 people and you land the wrong way, whether you're not breathing correctly or whatever it might be, just from adrenaline dumps and everything, you get deja vu. I've had deja vu so many times, but only on the football field. And it's after falling or a big hit or something. It's not a concussion. It's getting your bell rung, right? People are now saying that when you get your bell rung, that's a concussion. Well, if that's the case, Brett Favre has a record for concussions. So I think we need to just be careful with CTE, be careful with concussions, but also understand what's a concussion and what's not a concussion. Because now people are just going to start sitting out games, getting paid to not do anything, looking for sympathy, trying to do lawsuits in the NFL over stuff that's getting your bell rung and playing football. That's my opinion. I'm sure people are going to bash me if they hear that and they don't agree with it and they know somebody's gotten hurt. You got to remove yourself from the situation. That's a personal experience. That's an emotional reaction. You got to look at the numbers, look at the data, look at the whole grand scheme of things. Not many people do what Tua did. football's been going on for a very long time, and it used to be a lot more unsafe than it is now. I think that's a very specific occurrence. It's an anomaly, and I wish him the best. But that's my opinion on it. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as that, I mean, I do think, you know, having the science to go behind and get definitive answers that things are happening with concussions that directly affect the brain and that sort of deal. But I think you're also correct that regardless of that knowledge, having it or not having it, you sign up to play the sport. You sign up to break your arms and your fingers for the glory of the Lombardi Trophy. You sign up for $1 million paycheck, knowing full well that you had concussions in high school or college, and how they happened were hard collisions. There's no way you went into the NFL thinking that you just weren't going to have any hard collisions once you got to the big leagues. Yeah, so it was like 10 times that when you got out there. So for people to like be able to back date and try and sue the NFL for, you know, whatever it may be in regards to that, I think that's pointless. I don't feel that a person should be able to do something like that after knowing what they were signing up for.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, so we got Titans and Jets. We have no Chattanooga game this week, so I'm done talking. What are we doing? Titans, Jets. What are we talking about first?
All right, you got the Titans, Tennessee Titans going to D.C. to play Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders. So in this game, I think, Titans did well the first half of every game, it seems like, except for that Bills game this year. And then the second half comes around, and it's like we either rest back because we got the lead or they just forget how to play. Maybe it is that for the 15, 30 minutes, whatever it may be for halftime, that the other team finds out what Todd Downing's doing, and then Todd Downing's like, oh, well, it worked in the first half. I don't have to revise anything, and goes with the same exact plays. And they're like, okay, we're just going to stop you. So that's happened every week. So for me, I think Tennessee needs to get on a roll. They need to mix up the playbook. And I hope, Derrick Henry can get involved like he was last week so we can see that full playbook. Because without getting that running game started, I think it'll be a long day. I think it'll be a lot of field goals, and maybe Carson Wentz blowing somebody apart on our outsides. The running game's kind of strong for Washington. So, Antonio Gibson, he's a good pass catcher. You got McKissick, and he's, very versatile. I could see this game definitely being a touchdown difference. So for me, I'm going to go with the Titans just because I love the Titans, but also I don't think Carson Wentz has what everybody thinks he has and why he's actually moved in between teams here for the past couple of years. It's just he's good, but it's just not there, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm with you. What about those Jets? How are those Jets looking?
Hey, the Jets got some fight in them, my man. Jets are 2-2, looking alive. Sauce Gardner's looking like rookie of the year, like you projected.
That's right.
Daniel Jeremiah put out a report this week with his top 25 rookies through a quarter of the season. Jets just so happen to have 3 in the top 10, 4 in the top 18. Jets are a young and upcoming team. I think people are kind of starting to see that and kind of starting to shift the narrative a little bit. Everybody's going to still doubt the Jets. That's fine. We'll play the role of the underdog. I've always liked the underdog. What is it? I think 3.5 this week. I like the Jets. I'm going to roll with the Jets. With Zach Wilson coming back and doing what he did last week in the fourth quarter, looking like 14 of 16 for a touchdown, had a touchdown catch, bringing them back to life. Got to roll with the Jets. I don't think Miami has that much. I do think Teddy kind of gives you a little bit more options. I think he can push the ball a little bit better than Tua. I have seen that Xavier Howard, though, who I do think is a top 5 corner in the league, hasn't practiced yet, and Teron Armstead, who I think is a top 10 tackle in the league, hasn't practiced. So Miami might be without some players, and we might be able to catch them slipping up. So I like the Jets. Jets got some fight in them, man. I'm excited. To move to 3-2 divisional game. If the Bills lose and the Jets win this bad boy, Jets are tied for first.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, it's pretty good breakdowns there because I might have some of those plays in me. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's go to the 12 games of the week. Let's knock this out pretty quick. The first 4 games on here that we're looking at, Saturday games. We're not doing. Oh, actually, we did Thursday, didn't we? So we need to back up because we got this thing out of order. All right. So Thursday game tonight, 8:30. We got Colts and Broncos in Denver. What's the spread on that? It's like a pick 'em, isn't it? Like
-3.5.
Yeah, 3.5.
So -3.5. Favor the Colts. I'm going Broncos on that because that's where the money is. I think that the Colts are probably the better team and playing better right now, but I feel like the Broncos haven't had an opportunity to let Russell Wilson cook, as we say. Let Mr. What is it, Jared? Mr.
Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
You gotta be unlimited.
Listen, I ain't saying he's going to be unlimited good all season, but I got a good feeling that against the Colts, he might have a little bit better of a game. And that's the way I'm favoring it, just with it being in Denver. So I'm going Russell Wilson and the Broncos to cover that spread in Denver.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're taking Denver -3.5. Look at you go. So for me, even though it is my division and I hope they do lose, I think Matt Ryan he's rolling pretty well. I know that the one game he threw 3 picks and kind of had a little bit of a tough start as well as full game. It may play into the full season, showing Matt Ryan's not a good quarterback without like a Julio type receiver. But without Jonathan Taylor as well, I see Nyheim Hines getting a lot of action, whether it be in the passing game or the running game. I can see that Russell Wilson's kind of struggled, and it's not that his wide receivers aren't necessarily catching or not getting open. They just haven't had necessarily a dominant running game either, especially now that Williams is down and everybody seems in that backfield to be, fumble prone. So right now I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts on this game to have 3.5 points and win. So that's mine.
Well,
good play. I mean, I think this is a coin toss, honestly.
Yeah, like I said last week, I'm not a believer in the Colts, not a believer in Matt Ryan. Can't get behind him, won't get behind him. Then you're going to take Jonathan Taylor away from me? No, dude, there's no way. Broncos have slowly been building. Cost me some money week 1, cost me some money week 2, but they're slowly building. They're starting to kind of get it together a little bit. I'm going to let's ride Broncos country this week. We're going to the 3.5. If it was 6.5, 7.5, I'd be a little bit nervous. But at 3.5, I'll gladly take the Broncos at home. Got to roll with Russell Wilson on this one. Probably going to throw a little same game parlay on this one, and going to roll with the Broncos.
All right. So then we get to a bunch of Saturday games, and I don't know if we just all pick the favorites or what we do, but we all pick the same games. They're all college games. So number 25 LSU versus number 8 Tennessee. That sounds weird saying that out loud. It's been a while, but Tennessee -3. We're all taking the Vols. Oklahoma versus Texas in Oklahoma. Texas -7. We're all taking the Longhorns.
Red River.
Kansas 19, TCU 17. Sneaky best game of the weekend, even with some other games going on. I'm going TCU because I'm following the money and I'm following what people should be doing. But I have this gut instinct that I think Kansas could win this game outright. So remember that, but I am going TCU. We're all going TCU. And then the rematch, Texas A&M versus Bama, the ones that got them last year. Dude, 23.5 points is not even nearly close enough for the spread. Alabama's about to drop these boys on their head. This is going to be a real bad. I think personally, Nick Saban, when you get him in revenge situations, never a good thing. They're having a rebuild year, and they literally win the national championship. And this backup quarterback might be more explosive on offense than the starting quarterback, and he's a Heisman Trophy winner. So there's that.
Yeah.
So we all got Alabama picked to win. But we've really been having more fun on Sunday. So the 9:30 game, and I love this shit. This 9:30 game is my favorite part of the weekend. 9:30 game, Giants versus Packers. When we lock this in, Packers -7.5. I believe the Giants are having some issues with some personnel, some quarterbacks, some roster, some depth chart. And I've got a feeling Aaron Rodgers has yet to really show out. It's time for Aaron Rodgers to show out, and I think it happens in London.
There you go. Yeah, so on mine for that one, I picked the New York Giants to have those points. I believe they'll win the game as well. I think Saquon will get rolling on this one. I think, what we're about to see in this game is not just a good game in out in across the pond in the UK, but also a great game because you'll see the future of the New York Giants franchise with the quarterback who's backing up Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is about to be out anyway, so they need to see a new prospect. So all we're going to see is a little bit of light shining through. So I got Giants on this one.
All right.
Yeah. London games are always a little bit sneaky. You never know what you're going to get. You never know if it's going to be over, under, if things are just going to explode, if things are going to be quiet. Can't bet against Aaron Rodgers. Got to roll with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Did they say, is Daniel Jones playing for sure? Parker was talking about, is it Webb?
I think it is. Let me see. Exactly.
Yeah. Even though Aaron Rodgers had a showdown last week for some unknown reason with the third string quarterback, that's not going to happen again this week. Almost cost me some money. Ended up covering by 0.5. Got to roll with Rodgers on this one. Rodgers is the GOAT. Rodgers is my GOAT. I'm sorry, Gunner, but we got to roll with my guy on this one.
I mean, I do have a sick Aaron Rodgers heroes card in the GOAT case, so I'll put him up there. He's definitely top two, no doubt, of all time quarterbacks, I think. So there's that.
Agreed.
Yep, you were right, Jared. It's Davis Webb. Tyrod Taylor's in concussion protocol right now.
Let's go. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. Even Bailey Zappi took him to the wire last week. It's not happening this week.
Yeah.
That was more of a defensive meltdown, and I don't know what that was. That it's like they got up and kind of let off. I don't know what that was. But anyways, so Steelers versus Bills. Now, it's the NFL. You're looking at 11 of the best players on the planet going up against 11 of the other best players on the planet in some regard. And it's minus 14. Now, I know the Bills beat the shit out of the Titans, and I know the Bills wore out the Rams. I know the Bills have an explosive offense. But you give me 14 points in any NFL game, I'm going with the 14 points. Give me the Steelers. Give me a backdoor cover. Give me a last-minute, 2-minute pointless drive to take it from a 20-point game to a 13-point game, and let's get that win in Buffalo with the Steelers covering that spread.
I'm going to have to stick with Josh Allen. I think, these past couple weeks have been a little tough for him. He's kind of had a little couple times where he just could have made the pass, didn't make the pass, silly interceptions. I see him cleaning up his game. I see them busting him out for even 21 points. So I got the Bills on this one.
Same, yeah, man. 14, if it's 14 and a half, okay, maybe. But I don't think 14 is enough. Josh Allen's been doing his thing. I think they're going to look at this as like a tune-up game, kind of get everything together, figure out what they can do, figure out what works, what doesn't work, get back to basics a little bit, quit trying to be so exotic and just run what they run. Let Josh Allen do his thing. Let Josh Allen run a little bit. Let him get down to the goal line. Can we get back to Gabe Davis, for the love of God? Like, what happened to that? Dude was helping me. Dude was carrying me week one. Just fucking fell off the bandwagon. So I got to roll with Josh Allen. Can't roll with Kenny Pickett after the Jets picked him off 3 times last week. If the Jets picked him off 3 times last week, I can only imagine what that Bills secondary is going to do. So no way I can roll with them on this one.
Von Miller pick 6.
Do what?
Von Miller pick 6.
Let's go. Defensive touchdown. Let's throw some money on the defensive touchdown for the Bills.
Yeah.
All right. So we're against each other there. Vikings versus Bears. Another 1 p.m. game in Minnesota. Vikings are minus 7.5. I like the Vikings. I really do. I think the Vikings are sneaky good with old Cole Cash. I think Justin Jefferson is probably one of the best receivers in the league. I think that running back Singletary. I think they're good, but I think the Bears are not as bad as what the Bears are portrayed as. I think that this game is going to be potentially an upset game. I think that the Bears might even get the win, but I definitely look for this game to probably come down to at least one score. And I think Chicago can cover right here with an off week by the Vikings. Not because Chicago's better, but because of an off week by the Vikings. That's what I got.
Cool. Next one popping up is that Dolphins-Jets game. It's sitting at -3 for the Dolphins. So on this one.
So,
yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm going Dolphins. Only because why is the spread so small and Tua's out? It's because it's the NFL, it's Vegas, and it's rigged. Somehow or another, the Dolphins are going to win this game. Straight up. Probably.
I don't know, man.
By more than you would think.
The Jets have served you well. You're going to bail on them now?
Hey, man, I'm whoever makes me money. I ain't worried about it.
I feel that.
The only one I'm committed to is Brady. So whoever makes me money, I'm here.
Yeah, so this one, coming into it, I think Dolphins are going to have, hopefully their week 1 through 3 and 4, but not 2 defense, because week 2 defense got blown apart for some reason. It like that weren't even on the field, giving up big play after big play. So, I mean, if Zach Wilson can get on a roll and the Dolphins don't show up defensively, I can see this being a barn burner. I think Teddy Bridgewater is a good quarterback. I think he's solid backup material. He might do a good job with a full week of practice, kind of getting his feet wet on team one. But for me, I just don't know if he has the chemistry that Tua had with those receivers. And they don't have like the strongest running game. So for me, I got the Jets on this one, especially at the plus points. I think they might even, pull away, win this game, and then those points won't even matter.
I agree, man. Yeah, I think the Jets can win this straight up. And then you're going to give me 3 points at home. I'm going to roll with the Jets. I'm going to roll with Sauce Gardner, locking down Tyreek Hill. I'm very excited to see that. He's been talking it up all week, said he covered fast guys in college football, covered Javonte Williams. Don't know that they're Tyreek Hill fast, but he's covered fast guys before. And he's got the 6'3" height to make up for maybe if he does get left a little bit behind that reach boy, knock that bad boy out. With the injuries that I mentioned for the Dolphins, I think it gives the Jets a fair shot. If the Dolphins were completely healthy, I'd roll with the Dolphins on this. I agree with Gunner. I don't know why it's only 3. It's freaking me out a little bit. I don't like it. If the refs are all up our ass on this game, I'm going to be super pissed. But I'm going to roll with the Jets. I'm going to take them money line straight up, but the +3 only helps.
I've figured out that the way the referees keep these games close in whatever favor they want to is the defensive holding call.
Yes.
Because they've made it to where now linebackers can't even jab receivers off the line in a certain location or at a certain distance. Dude, that's football. That's literally football. Like, there was a call the other night that it was actually a defensive holding automatic first down in my favor, but it was not. It was not. It was not. It was the I don't know what game I was watching. It might have been the Bengals game. Like last Thursday, there was a really terrible defensive holding call that went against the. I don't know. I have to find it, but regardless, just watch third, fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Random ass defensive holding calls come out for first downs on third down. It's not pass interference, defensive holding. It's completely subjective. Not even a legit rule. So,
it's funny that you say that too, because I just saw a tweet today that said the Jets are the lowest in the league in defensive holding and pass interference calls. So if we see some yellow while the Jets are on defense, I'm calling some collusion, and I want my money back.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm with you. I 100% agree. I'm with you. So that's the only games we're against each other on. The other games, you got Titans, Commanders in Washington. We're all taking Titans. Seahawks, Saints. We're all taking Seahawks. That's the 4 p.m. game. Yep. And then the primetime game, which is Monday night, Raiders versus Chiefs. If this was the 70s, this would be a great game. I think it still might be a great game tonight or a Monday night. We're all taking the Chiefs. I think we all saw what the real Chiefs team that we wanted to see against the Buccaneers. So the games that are going to matter. Colts versus Broncos, Giants, Packers, Steelers, Bills, Vikings, Bears, Jets, Dolphins. But the only thing that really, really matters is the amount of money that we make on these weeks because we've been keeping up with it. We've been doing it. I'm going to go ahead and break down my lock of the week, dog of the week, and the parlay of the week. And I'm going to have you two Bubble Boys tell about y'all's bubble plays because this is something that I can't find anywhere on the internet. Nobody suggests it on YouTube. It's nowhere. So, boys, you guys created it, and I need to let you guys get out there and talk about it. So, the lock of the week, and this is my lock of the week, and this is going to be, I think, a favor of Ryan. Titans money line. And here's why I say Titans money line. Because he sold me during the game, during his little sales pitch. But also, you can get Titans money line for minus 126. So for only an extra, 16 points, you can just take them straight up to win. That's a much better play than the minus 2.5 or minus 1.5, whatever it is. I think you lay it down. You put down 100 to win or 126 to win 100. Or in my case, I'm putting down 250 to win 200, and I'll take those odds every day. The dog of the week, and this might be a surprise, but the dog of the week, I'm going to take them Cowboys. I'm going to take them Cowboys to get that upset. One reason, all the money's on the Cowboys. Hardly any of the bets are on the Cowboys, and they're plus 205. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually play that, but if I was playing a dog, that's the dog I'm going to play. My 3-team parlay of the week is Texans plus 7, Patriots minus 3, Packers minus 8. That takes you to plus 585. Slap 250 on that bad boy. Get you that nice little payout there is what I'll say. But now I'm not really betting much this weekend because I've already got $250 out, and I've got it out on 12 games. You put $250 on 12-game parlay? Yes, I did. But here's why. My Bubble Boys right here, they've figured out a way on Barstool to do these bets where they slide the spread for the dog all the way over as much as they can. So if whatever betting app you use, go to it, see if you can do it. We won't give away all the secrets, but let's just say these boys are 10-0, 10-0 on these parlays, 10-0, not 1-0, 10-0. Ryan won one both sides. He took one all the way to the left, all the way to the right, hit both of them. Yeah. Because NFL games are so close, they're rarely 2-score games. So if you can, and these parlays, you can get them at plus 3 scores or even more. So so I did one of those. I put 250 on it. I'll probably play another game or two this weekend because I'm a degenerate. But other than that, I'm going to let that ride. And if that bad boy hits, it pays out $1,600. If that pays out $1,600, now my bankroll's up over $3,000. I will be playing $500 games next week. That's a promise. So let's hope this parlay hits because we're going to start getting serious around here. All right,
Ryan. Go ahead.
Just a little bit about the parlay bubble. We've been, pushing them and getting anywhere from, plus 9.5 to plus 23.5. It's pick your poison at that point. And, after, running the 12 games that Barstool allows, because you can only do up to a 12-game parlay in Barstool. Other formats like FanDuel and even Hard Rock Sportsbook, you can do as many bets as you want. So, but with Barstool, we do 12, and we just kind of, roll it up as far as we can get it. And it's usually at about plus, I think, 592 on the odds. So, you're definitely still given that chance to lose by a point somewhere along the line. But so far, it's fared pretty well, and we'll continue to let it rise with itself. And if you lose one, then we'll reevaluate and figure out what we can do different. But for now, it's working.
Yeah, man. I think the ultimate move and the ultimate strategy in this is I build one out on FanDuel, and I put 12 games or so, and I take them all to 17.5. That means you have to win, or the other team has to blow 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Mm-hmm. If you're losing by more than 17 points in an NFL game, something's up. I think last week we put the numbers to it, and maybe only 2 or 3 ended up actually losing by more than that. But you can kind of tell what those games are before you bet. You can see that this team is probably going to blow this out, or I probably shouldn't take this game. So I think the strategy is take maybe one all at 17.5, then take another one, take 10.5, 14.5, kind of mix it up a little bit. But
Yep.
I mean, we've been successful so far. I love that Guns is rolling with us on this one.
Yeah.
Love that he threw 250 on it. My man's going to make a fucking killing if this hits. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to be rooting for all of us, but especially Guns on this one.
For sure. Yeah, and I did one 12 leg for $100, so I'll be hitting I think 592 off that one.
Listen,
God willing.
Listen, I've seen these guys go from $5 bets to $100 bets. It's a matter of no time till I have them betting their whole mortgage payments on this shit. So it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. Listen, I've got an extra room. You guys are more than welcome to come stay if our gambling issues become a problem.
Yeah.
We might all have to just pay my rent at that point.
Okay, we can make that happen.
Yeah.
You never know. We can figure it out. So what's your locks of the week, dogs of the week, parlays of the week? What you guys doing?
So I'm gonna lock down. I'm gonna say, for me, I believe the Jets will win, and to lock on plus money is just, it's a no-brainer. So for me, I'm gonna lock down on the Jets to win outright at plus 146. My dog of the week is gonna be the Seahawks. Take them, money line plus 205. Dog of the week. They are going to kill the Saints. Yeah. The Saints will not. They'll do enough with the ball to score points, but the Seahawks, and that's again putting into that parlay bubble, because right now you can pull the Seahawks to I think plus 18.5. So if they win, that means you just gave them 18 and more points to sit with. So they just won by 30 instead of 12. So with that, that's also a double good. For me on the parlay I'm going to sit, and I took the Falcons plus 10. I took the Seahawks to win outright, and then I'm taking the Colts plus 3.5, and that is going to be a plus 979. So, you can bet $10 and win 100 pretty much.
Very nice. Okay. Very nice. I see you rolling with the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
My
lock of the week, I got the 49ers minus 6.5 against the Panthers. Baker Mayfield has absolutely looked like the worst quarterback probably in the league. 49ers came out smoking against the Rams. I thought the Rams were going to win. I didn't know what I was missing, but then I remembered Kyle Shanahan absolutely owns Sean McVay, and I'm an idiot for ever going against the 49ers against the Rams. It's kind of like the Colts Jags. I just can't. It doesn't compute in my head, but then in the end, they always pull it out. My dog's the same as Ryan. I got the Seahawks. They're plus 5.5, plus 205 on the money line. If you want to get a little bit crazy, I'm going to reverse bubble that bad boy. And if you get the Seahawks at minus 6.5, it's plus 430. So just saying, I'm probably definitely gonna be playing that. I might time with some other stuff, but plus 430 to just win by a touchdown, love that. And then I went a little crazy on my parlay. I got 5 picks, and I kind of used our bubble technique and kind of reversed it a little bit. I did Seahawks money line, which I just said. Bills minus 5.5, brought it down from 14. Vikings minus 2.5, 49ers minus 2.5, and Chiefs minus 2.5. That is plus 888. So if you bet $10, you win 88. If you bet $100, you're going to win $880.
Hell yeah.
And it's pretty safe. You just need 3 teams to win by a field goal, 3 heavy favorites to win by a field goal. Bills minus 5.5 when they're minus 14. And then the Seahawks just come through clutch for you. I really like that.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's juicy.
Look at you getting scientific and diving into the numbers there and starting to manipulate some things to get that plus money. Dude. I dig it. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for coming to the show. Check it out. Let us know if any of your bets hit. We'll let you know if our bets hit. We'll let you know if they don't hit. We'll let you know what the score is. Hopefully, I win 2 more games than Ryan does this week. So I'm really hoping that stretch of Broncos, Packers, Steelers, Bears, Dolphins does something good. Because I need the Broncos to win, the Packers to win, the Steelers to win, the Bears to win, and the Dolphins to win, because Ryan hates all of those picks. So I need that to happen. I need to Jared's going to come out of nowhere and just
let's go. We had a good week last week.
Talladega Nights and shake and bake right in the first place. But other than that, we'll catch you guys next week, and after another glorious weekend of being a degenerate. So, but if I'm $1,600 richer, $500 bets, boy, I can't wait. It'll be awesome.
Let's go.
All right, boys. We'll see you next time.